All right, 4 weeks out. I didn't record a goddamn thing. I've been terribly. See, what happened was that I gained back my weight, 242 again. Ate nothing but red meat, so it's killing me. I tried to do 455 for some speed work, and it couldn't go up. So I just deloaded with 365 for doubles, and that was it. Because I'm not about to get. I should have known. Why is your car so loud? Fuck. God damn. Why is people's car so loud? Anywho, I just did that, and then I did just a little bit of core work, and then I pretty much did cardio with punching bag. 5 rounds, 1 minute. That's it. I hit my numbers: 525 for deadlift, 525 for squats. It's not the most I'm probably gonna do for squats, and I don't know what I'm gonna do for deadlifts. Deadlifts was horrible today, so I just deloaded, got done, I just don't feel. My excuse is my stomach feels horrible, and all that pressure went to my stomach and just felt like it was squeezing everything. And I've been going to the bathroom very frequently, so I know there's too much to notice, but that's pretty much my excuse. All that red meat I ate, I still burp it, and I can still taste it. That's how horrible it is. So it might be some stuck in there, and my body is not liking it. So, plus I don't eat much pork, so I guess that's the reason too. I'm just killing myself right now. So right now, I feel like shit, but at the same time, the many things I've learned that can kind of certain things that helped me was mostly for me because I'm so horrible at, like, with deadlifts. It was more of like the frontier of me trying to lock out. So I usually do bands once every 2 weeks, and that's been pushing my deadlift fast as hell because my body's not used to being pushed away. So, like, I would do the same amount of weight while I do 2 weeks, do the same amount of reps with that. But because it's more of like, I'm used to it when it's, set down, but I'm not used to it when it's up. Like, all that resistance can push my body and overload that body to actually get used to that amount of weight. So it's kind of telling the body that there's a lot more when it's when it's locked out. But when it's down and I'm still like trying to pull it up, it gets heavier and heavier when it goes up. So that type of overload helped me out, especially with my core, because I usually do belt lifts with most of them, and it's helped me out tremendously. Bench press, I really didn't use like more of an overload. I just did more like competitive volume and all that stuff, and then went to more intensity, more body weight with push-ups every day. Try to pull as much as I can, more dumbbells, all that stuff. Now that's pretty much helped me out back to where I should be, except for 405. I think in a few weeks, I'm just probably going to try it out at the meet. I shouldn't even try it out maxed out. I thought I would get it and probably get 420 at the meet, but I just need to be more efficient with my training and not worry about, just because I hit big numbers of the other two doesn't mean I have to hit every number for each lift. So for right now, I'm just working on more of stability and also more of like tricep work, because my lockout was pretty much the reason. There's always been a reason for that. So with that, I don't have to go as much as I have to with it every time. So right now I fell in this week. It sucks. I deloaded. I'm gonna see what happens next week, and then that's pretty much it. But at the same time, I can't really say that I've had troubles in the past few weeks. It's just, I'm glad I'm going through this. I'm glad I'm actually pushing myself. I'm glad that everything is going good. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be strictly perfect throughout. So I can't really count myself out. I'm not gonna count myself out because money is already in, so I can't get my refund. So I might as well keep going regardless of how I feel. I still feel it. It's hurtful. God damn. And it sucks, but this is what I want to do. So regardless of how fact of like sometimes me being put down and all that stuff, things are still going great regardless. So with my training, I usually do mostly body weight, and the reason why I do mostly body weight, and I've told you guys to pull myself to less stress ending of my work sessions. And the reason why I do that is because it kind of helps out, still strengthen it as much as I can, but at the same time, it's not much stress to actually like withdraw my recovery pretty much. So with that, it's been helping me out tremendously because I'm recovering faster and faster. With like heavier sets to lighter sets, my body is like used to that heavier set. So when I do lighter sets with just my body weight, it comes to now it's just being strengthened other than tearing muscle fibers and working, you know, fully with each muscle fiber that is used to using, and that much of like energy that is like pretty much being used within the body and within the main sets, it doesn't do anymore. It's highly confused. It feels like it's just light as hell. So I'm feeling like my whole body when I do push-ups or like pull-ups or anything like that, I feel a lot lighter. So that's been helping me out tremendously. So going heavier to lighter, especially. Sometimes I'll do speed work, and that's like even doing like 400 pounds, especially with like bands, felt a lot easier. It felt like it was just pretty much like 225 sometimes, and it makes me happy thinking about that. So like I wouldn't do overload with squats and bench press, but I'll do a little bit of overload with deadlifts. And the reason why I only do a little bit, I can do like rack pulls and all that to actually overload my whole body in general, because when you push heavier weight, especially, you're trying to hold it, so your nervous system's getting like stronger. Well, your nervous system's pretty much getting used to that amount of weight. Your body's getting used to that amount of weight, and then you also strengthening your back to actually be stabilized. Your back and also muscle your core to stabilize that amount of weight. So I could do that, but I can go to do the same thing for deficient deadlifts, because at the bottom is very hard. At the top for bands, it's still putting much pressure on the core, so that's helping me out entirely. So I started with deficiency, and I ended up with bands in general, and that's helped me out tremendously. With squats, I would do a lot more volume, but also try to do just much as I can, as in like for first few weeks I did 5-8 sets, maybe 10 sets, and then after that I would do a little bit heavier on the same day. Like I would do same day, next week, the week after that I would do at least 75% of my max, just to get things flowing. Like I tried to do 435, 425. It was heavy at first, and then I went back to just doing speed work and all that sort of things, and doing a lot more volume because I'm still strengthening everything in that sort. And also it caused to where like at that time I still did like bodybuilding movements. I still did like isolation and all that stuff, because without isolation it actually isolation kind of helps you prevent tears and injuries in general, because it's working on and strengthening each muscle separately. So with that, sometimes you don't work on like the same amount of muscles that you should be, especially for like compound movements, because like bench works on more chest and triceps, but it doesn't work on shoulders, which shoulders and back stabilizes the bench. Same thing as like hips help with power and all that stuff, only 30%. So, and same thing as like squats. Now squats is more of like you use your hips more and you stabilize it with your quads when you're locking out, but you're stabilizing down with your hamstrings. So you get a lot of quad dominant resistance from squats, but you don't do for like hamstring and all that stuff. Even though it's pressure, it's still going to put a lot more pressure on quads than it would hamstrings. And sometimes like that, it helps out a lot to actually help, like, work on that and work on being like stronger for each body part, because once you are individually working on each body muscle and any body part, you're gaining a lot of more strength. You actually build more to where like you gain more numbers, and that's throughout like maybe 1 through 5 weeks. And after that, I just do a lot more weight, less exercises, get in, get out. That's pretty much it. So this week sucked ass, not gonna lie, but we gonna do a lot better on 3 weeks out. I might do bench. It's gonna be a lot more speed work. My last set is probably like 285, because I'm not trying to go as heavy as much. I tried 405, so I'm not trying to like kill myself. So 255, 285, 3 sets of 6 to 8, and that's pretty much it. And then more like tricep works, and that's my goal for tomorrow. So see you guys later. Peace out.